Okay, before I pass on the microphone to Philip to officially open the NA, I would like to remind you to be on time after the breaks, that we are finished in time and that everyone can catch their train that they want to take. Also, I wanted to add, you should have already seen it in the agenda because I've put a comment at the appreciation round time. There is a maximum of speaking time of 2 minutes, like there was at the last NA. Unfortunately, at the last NA, this was not really considered. So just for your information when you're speaking and also for the listeners, there will be a timer of 2 minutes on the big screens. So everyone will see the time. So please try to stay within the 2 minutes. If you're really over the time, I will unfortunately cut you off, although I love appreciation and it's really, really important for a network, but it's still exhausting if we're here for 2 hours listening to people speaking. I hope that's understandable for all of you.
Good morning. I hope you had a fantastic night. I saw so many people on the dance floor, really nice. I saw also people playing board games, really nice. And yes, I wish you just a really good day. Oh, Charlotte. Sorry. Thank you for already coming to the front from the vote delegates, so thank you for taking this into account. Yes, so I would like to open the last day of NA officially. Have a great day.
Thank you, Philip. And let's already start with the quorum check.
Good morning. My two lovely scrutineers, please come to the front and count the votes with me. So, the question of the day is, which city never had an ESN section? Is it A, Aachen, B, Bremen, C, Weingarten, or D, none of the above? So that means like all of them had at some point a ESN section. So, who says that it's A, Aachen? Please raise your voting device now. Thank you, you can lower them. If you say B, Aachen, Bremen, if you say Bremen, please raise your voting device now. If you say C, Weingarten, please raise your voting device now. Please decide, Siegen, can you please put it up so it's clear to us? Thank you. 8, thank you, you can lower them. Or is it D, none of the above? Please raise your voting device now. 6. Yep. Then we have a quorum. And the correct answer is none of the above. At some point, all of these cities had somewhat of a ESN section, even so it was in the early years of ESN where sections weren't so much defined. So thank you to my lovely scrutineers for helping me count. You can sit down again. So next up is like updates to the agenda. Do you have anything else to say? No. Then do you have any extension that you would like to propose to the agenda?
Lena NB, I would like to add a really, really short update about the training days, a positive update to the agenda. It's going to be less than 5 minutes.
Okay, so that means my lovely scrutineers can come to the front again because we will vote on that. Sorry. So, do you approve this extension of the agenda, like update on the training days by the NB? Please raise your voting device now. Yeah. Yeah. 39. Thank you. You can lower your voting device now. Do you reject this proposal for the extension of the agenda? Would you like to abstain from this vote? By 1. Thank you. So this extension of the agenda is thereby approved. Thank you again. Or like, are there any more other extensions that you would like to propose? Doesn't seem like that. So, we're coming to the voting clock for today. So, for the public voting, first of all, there will be the SOS proposals. Here the question will be, do you agree to the proposal with a number, then a name, and by proposer? And you can vote with yes, no, and abstain. There are these following SOS proposals: restructuring of the COC team by the COC team, restructuring working group. Please note there that it's like a change of the statute, so it needs at least 75%. And please also note there that it has been amended before it was the first time presented, so they will be also included in this proposal. Then the second proposal was withdrawn, so it won't be voted on. The third proposal is a Code of Conduct clarity and non-retaliation amendment by the Code of Conduct Structuring Working Group. Fourth is OC selection for NB and RC organized events by the Audit Board. Fifth is a RC accountability report by the RC East. Sixth is RC role clarification for LP by RC East, West, and Southeast. Please note also this one has been, this proposal has been updated before it was the first time presented here. And seventh is a spot contingents for LPs by the RCs East and Southeast. Then another question of the public voting will be the OC for the next NA. Again, here it's a 50% majority. So are you choosing ES and Köln as organization committee for the summer NA 2026? Again, here you can vote with yes, no, and abstain. And I will start. Oh, it's in that slide. It's sorry. It should be winter. You're right. I will update that quickly. Yeah. Yeah, and thankfully I put the right one in the ballot, so it shouldn't be a problem. I will start now the voting. Yeah, the voting has started. Please check your emails. You should have received a link to vote. And again, if you don't receive the link or have any other issues with checking your email, please contact me so we can find a solution quickly. Can you come to the front, please? You're like from Saarbrücken. Yeah, you don't get it. You didn't collected your vote delegation this morning, so you have to be here on time, like before it starts. Sorry. Schauen wir uns mal an. ESN Bochum, do you have any issues? Or ESN Bochum? Huh? Can you please come to the front? If you have issues, if you don't receive the mail, please come to the front. Please bring him here immediately. He shouldn't even left and.
There's a question. What is this? A question?
Please come here. Ja, der hat einen Zweier. Ja, voll. Okay. Wobei die hat auch 2.
Leser sind auch 2.
Resend voting link.
Nadia?
Yeah. Can you, you want to send it to another email address, don't you? Can you type it in there, please? Can you also come to the front and help us, please? Ja, ich glaube, das macht es mehr. Vielleicht kann sie dir auch einfach sagen, welche mehr. Nee, mach du. Ich brauche dich nur einfach. Ja, okay, natürlich. Also, kannst du einfach wer jetzt bei den Votings noch aussteht.
ESN TU Dresden. Are there any problems? Where is TU Dresden? No? No meaning no problems? Okay. ESN Stuttgart? All good?
Perfect, thank you. We finished the public voting plot now. So coming up is the secret voting. There we will vote on the new candidate section, and the question here will be, do you agree to accept the Student Network for Active Collaboration, in short SNAC, as a new candidate section for ESN Deutschland e.V.? Here you can vote yes, no, abstain, and it's a 2/3 majority. Then we have the discharge of the old NB. Here you have to discharge the individual board members. So do you discharge the name of the actions as positioned during the NB mandate 2022-2023? Here again, yes, no, abstain. Then you have the CT elections, where for who do you elect as position of the NA sharing team for the mandate 2005-2006. Here, you have candidate A, candidate B, and you can also vote if you want to reject both, none of the above, or abstain. The same goes for the AB elections. Who do you elect as position of the audit board for the mandate 25-26? Again, candidate A, candidate B, candidate C, none of the above, and abstain. Yeah, and I will start the voting shortly. The voting has started now. You should receive the link shortly. Gießen, do you need more time? Sorry. No, it's not registered yet, as that you submitted it, sorry. Yeah, thank you. It just took some time. So, let me check that. Perfect. Thank you. Then we can continue.
Okay, thank you very much for voting. The next agenda point would be the presentation from the alumni. Are they here yet? Because are the presenters here? No. Okay. Yeah. Give me 1 minute. Okay. I would like to propose to change the agenda and to move the section called findings that are scheduled for after the break to now, to give the alumni more time to show up. Are there any objections? No. If you want to presenters, we need to come here. Microphone. Okay, everybody, good morning. I'm sorry for looking like a schoolgirl. I was doing my hair, I want some curls. So we're going to talk a little bit about the section calls. We have hinted at this for the last 2 days, and we're going to talk a little bit about the highlights and the key takeaways. So first and foremost, thank you so much. Because without the help of the national level, but also without the help of you lovely sections, we couldn't have done this. Also my personal help also to Benji, who was an immense help with this. And he's an amazing section care coordinator. I don't want to cry. And the good news is all 46 sections participated in the section calls. And this hasn't happened in at least 2 years. So this is a really big thing. And this is only manageable because of you and also me hunting you down on WhatsApp, probably. But thank you so, so, so much.
There's one missing. Let's take a closer look. It's missing. It's okay.
Sorry. So we started with a basic question. So how's your section doing? Because when you start a conversation, it's always, how are you doing? And actually, when you look at the numbers, half of our sections are kind of like okay and very confident in their work, but not everyone is that confident. More like there is a big percentage who actually said they're less confident, and there's also like a not too small of a number who said they have major issues. But this is why the section calls are so important, because we can only spot these problems if you talk to us. So we're going to take a closer look at our findings, which probably says the next page.
Yeah, this is that's what you already said. We take a closer look at what we found. And what we did was we went through all the protocols and minutes that were taken during the calls and looked at individual questions and tried to categorize a little bit so that you can get an overview of how people are doing. And then we also look closer and look for examples of cool things that you are doing and challenges that we can help you with, of course. We asked all of you if you had a transition recently from one board to the next, and this is the result of how people said transitions are going. A lot of you said the last transition went well. That's the green part. I think it's cut off a little bit, but that's really good. There are some sections that said they have major issues with transitions, and that also translates into sections maybe not doing super well or saying they're not doing super well because the transition was bad. Transitions are really important for all of you from one board to the next. Having transition documents, having individual transitions from predecessor to successor, but also having meetings between the old and the new boards can really help you with a good transition. We will also take this as an opportunity to help you with transitions, and in the section care team work on creating more guides for local boards and things that might help you with that. We also asked every section what are 3 things that you are proud of that you achieved in the last year, and then we tried to categorize that a little bit and saw that a lot of the sections were really happy with team spirit, with recruitment, and with the engagement of their members. And we kind of tried to categorize this, and there's a lot more answers, of course, but these were the most named ones. We also looked at what are challenges that sections have, and member engagement is a challenge for a lot of you as well. And you can also see that recruitment and board stability and structure appeared in both slides. Those are strong points in some sections and challenges for other sections, which is a really important thing to realize that you can help each other. And we will also work more on concepts and structures for you to get in contact with sections that are maybe doing well in an area that's challenging for you. So that's something that I really want to focus on this year. Yes. We also asked how often you organize team activities and team buildings. Nearly half of you organize team building more than once per semester, or said they have more than once per semester. Of course, you can also meet after team meetings and have smaller individual team buildings that can be really nice. And there were some sections that said maybe you don't have a lot of time, or the members don't have a lot of time for team buildings, but that can be really important for creating good team spirit. And yeah. We also asked you how satisfied you were with ESN card sales. We didn't ask for individual numbers, like how many cards you sell in the last year, because that's something that we will probably ask you in January in the form that you will fill out for the next quality assurance round. But yeah, more than half of you were satisfied with the sales, but there's room for improvement, and we also already collected your ideas and your feedback about the ESN card sales and gave that to Nicole, the ESN card coordinator, so that she can also look at it and think about ways to improve.
Yes, and then a little bit about your relationships with the international relations offices or international offices, however you want to call them. The majority of us actually have very positive relationships with the international office, and I think this is something incredibly important for our work. Also, another very funny finding is that we're so founded that many of us are actually part of our international offices, me included. And this is also a really, really good point, because we also talk about employability sometimes as our courses, and it's really important that you see these can also be path as a career. And I want to put an emphasis that it's not a high number of people that are less satisfied with the relationships of the international offices, but we want you to reach out to us, and actually then we can way forward you to Philip as a president, the liaison office, because these relationships to the international offices are so important, and we want you to help to build them a little bit better if they're not that positive. And then about the role of ESN Germany, because when we do these section calls, when we do the questionnaires, these are actually helping us to work better as the national level, because we can only work as best with the findings that you give us. And this is why your feedback is so incredibly important. And I hope that we gave you the impression that you can also talk to us, and that we are open and here to listen to what you have to say. And with this is a little bit of a very broad view, because there's a lot of people who are actually satisfied with the way it is now. There's a lot of people who say, oh, it could be a little bit more active, but there's also people saying it could be a little bit more passive. And this is incredible for us to know, because then we can kind of see how we can engage with the sections and where are issues where we as the national level need to pay a little bit more attention to, and where we probably need to be a little more passive with the guidance.
It also shows that there's need for definitely both sides, for passive support, so for offering guides and information in a good structured way, but also for actively reaching out to sections that we see have challenges and offer support and mentoring. And that's also something that I really want the section care team to be there for. What are we going to do with this? So we have already provided some overviews of the results and some of your answers to Sylvie and Lena for the organization of the National Training Days and the workshops at SNA, and we will continue that. We've provided Philip and the liaison office with some answers about your experiences with your international offices, but also your experience already with university alliances and Europamachtschule, and that can be really helpful maybe for future projects. And as I said, provided feedback to Nicole as the ESN card coordinator, and we will continue that and try to give the national level an overview of how every section is doing as well, so that we can really tailor our events and our support to what you need. We will... Oh, I actually forgot to mention the rest of the points. This will also mean that the section care team will hopefully work on analyzing this further. These were like very basic results, but now that we have a lot of information and also can connect that to the results of the calls last year and the forms of the last years, we really want to work on building a good picture of how the sections in ESN Germany are doing and how we can help. And we will, as I said already, use this to update guides. There's an old local board guide that we really want to update, information for new boards, checklists, all kinds of projects that I will start working on with the new section care team now. That was it for now. Thank you very much. Please reach out to us, contact us if you have any questions about this. You can write me an email. You can also write Julie an email, of course. You can write to us on Slack. You can talk to us after the plenaries today or in the break. We are here to support you, and you can always book meetings as well. If you go into the national level updates, I added a meeting link, so you can just go into my calendar and book a meeting, and we'll hopefully use that a little bit. So if you have questions about any of this, you can always reach out. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much for this wonderful presentation. Since we are still 10 minutes earlier than that was scheduled for the alumni presentation. I would like to ask again if the presenters arrived. Can someone give me a thumbs up? Yes? Okay. Then we will go back to schedule.
Hi, we are the alumni, and basically, without us, this would have been a little bit more expensive for you. That's more or less how it goes. I'm not sure. I need it? Okay, for the live stream, yeah, hi. So, if any of the Dortmund members are here, this is our old logo from ESN Dortmund, and there we have the alumni flag. Other way around. This is how it looks like. This is how it used to look back then in the days, just letting you know. So my name is Felix. We have Antonio, Luisa, and Dimitar. We have also some fellow alumni sitting over there in the rooms here. So all those lovely people here around are those people that made you pay less for this event. And not only this event, but also for all of the events, more or less, that are happening, because you can ask us for funding. Basically, there are a couple of rounds. Well, I guess I have to click on my own, right? I'm not sure. All right. Yeah, I have never done this. Like, the last time I did this is probably like 10, no, not 10 years ago. It was like 2016, 17. But 10 years ago, we had the last national platform back then in the days here in Dortmund. So, and it was also an autumn platform, which is really cool because now it's back in Dortmund and it's also autumn and it's 10 years. So that's cool. Yeah. Basically, that's what I told you already. We are funding stuff. We are meeting. We are keeping in touch. So a lot of those people that are that were active when I was active are there. Then there's another generation before that founded the alumni in 2010. Yeah, and so more and more people are joining. So more and more events can be funded. More and more trips can be funded. So as soon as you want to go somewhere and you don't have the money, you ask us, and we will probably give you some money and help you get to the trips where you want to. We are around 120 members, founded in Istanbul, as I said, and we know stuff, yeah. And we also liked to party last night until way too long, I guess you too. But hey, we are here. And we have, as I told you, active new members in there as well. So those people are also, so we are also keeping in touch more or less with our local people all the time. So those people, there are people active still and organizing events. So it doesn't have to be that you are just old and know stuff, but you can also be young and know stuff. And, well, organize fun events within sections, but still put some money into the whole thing, because we are Booster Club, and yeah, you can actually get tax, get some money from the tax back. I think it's also somewhere here. So what are we doing? Do we still have fun? I guess so. So once in a year we have our general assembly, and this looks like the last 2 years, I guess. Yes, summer event. That is our general assembly. We meet in more or less something like cabin in the woods. Or somewhere else, and have fun, like eat, chat, do trips, go on hikes. As you can see, there's people running around in waters, chilling at boats, on a floating boat, and yeah, and then for 2 hours on a Saturday we meet up and decide stuff, what is going on with how we want to continue, and yeah. For the rest, everybody more or less does what they want to do, but there's people that always want to join you when you do what you want to do. yeah, once in a year, long weekend. And yeah, usually it's, as I said, self-provided. So we cook on our own, we do barbecue and stuff like this. Still fun. Yeah, as I said, financial support. Did I tell you that we actually found you by like putting money to events and give you money to attend events? If not, I think this is the slide. We support NAs, we support team building events, we support local platforms, we support participants, and we support you. So how does it work? You basically check out like this QR code, like scan it, and like if you want to do it now, and then you can ask for financial support. And why does it work? Because we are 120 members. But 120 members, to be honest, is not enough. We need to grow, because if you want to be funded by us, we need more people paying into the prize pool so that you get funded. So why don't you just scan this QR code, become a member, and if you sign up until Monday, you will not pay anything for the rest of the year. Is that a deal? Just do it now. Like, get out your mobile phones and scan this code. And I mean, it's pretty easy. And it's quite cheap because you only pay like 20 euros a year usually as a student. And if you're not a student, you pay 40. But you can still pay more if you want. Like, some of us do careers. And like they do big careers. And they have some money in their pockets, right? So they just put it to us and say, hey, that was ESN does is really cool, so let's just put more money there. So get some tax back, as I said. We have the summer event. You got some support in the past. Why not give something back by joining us? You support active ESNers. As I said, more members, more funding. And we always stay in touch and stay in contact, like by meeting once in a year or going on trips together. This has become a thing, more or less. It's becoming more of a thing, so yeah. More support, yeah. We do knowledge transfer. So there was some yesterday. I was asked by the president of ESM Bochum to come over and tell him some stories from the past or some motivation for the section. So I'm probably heading over to Bochum in the next time, sometime. Yeah, make new connections, and yeah, as I said, knowledge transfer. There is how you can reach us. We have Instagram since 3 years, I guess. I'm not quite sure. This is our board. We have Luisa here in the center. Yeah, Nico is apparently not yet here. He wanted to join us, but you know the trains are a little bit busy. And Hannes was here on the weekend. You might have seen him. Scan the QR code, become a member. If you sign up until Monday, trust me, you will not pay anything for this year. And we love the CI. Yeah.
Thank you very much for the presentation. Okay. Since we are still earlier than scheduled, I'd like to propose to change the agenda again and move the cash audit with its Q&A to right now before the break. Are there any objections? Okay, then it will be moved.
Thanks. So hello everyone again. Coming back this time with the cash audit that I conducted this time online due to the change formula. And I want to present the findings of it with you. It's, as you can see, 2024, Q3, Q4. So just a year ago, we're still catching up to be actually as up-to-date with the cash audit as possible. But a huge shout out to the cash auditors because they conducted 2 cash audits in a row. So I hope they're watching, or I don't think they are, but thank you to them. Their work is very appreciated, and thank you to the people that volunteered to do it with me the next time. But without further ado, just quickly, what is cash audit? Well, cash audit has the key difference to the presented yesterday financial audit, that it does not examine whether the financial transactions were damaging to the association. It examines whether the accounting and the bank transactions correspond and whether there are invoices assigned to all of the bank transactions in the accounting that should have invoices. So this is basically the basis for the financial audit that then bases on the assumptions of the cash audit. So we just examined if the accounting of the period corresponded to the bank transactions and if the bank transactions had assigned invoices. And what were our findings? Just quickly, I'll say first the findings in English, then I have to read out the actual report that the cash auditors signed and prepared in German. So just a heads up. But our findings include the fact that the accounting was corresponding to the bank transactions and the invoices were correctly assigned. There were again bundle transactions used, so basically you do one bank transaction for different things in different amounts, and we again recommend to avoid that to the treasurer because it negatively impacts the financial traceability. I guess it's not that hard to avoid them, and it's much harder for us to understand what they included. And there were 2 transactions amounting to €1,940 together, which were assessed as concerning and are to be examined in detail within the financial audit of the period. One was connected with reimbursements of that treasurer, so for those of you that might remember Santo, and the other with the funding for the Amsterdam trip of the, if I'm not mistaken, West sections. It's just that it needs to be thoroughly checked if all of the money that was spent for it actually also came into the ESN Germany's accounts or if there is any comments on it. But that will be part of the financial audit that you will be presented with at the next NA. And now in German, I'll just read it out. Kassenüberprüfung ESN Germany, ESN Deutschland e.V. 2024, Q3, Q4. Die Buchführung in Form des digitalen Kontojournals Dativ des Vereins würde von den in der Mitgliederversammlung gewählten Kassenprüfer überprüft. Das Kontojournal lag hierbei als Excel-Auszug vor und es war ein Zugang zu Dativ gegeben. Die Kontoauszüge der Bank lagen als Excel-Auszug und PDF-Dateien vor. Dabei würden auch die weiteren Unterlagen und die vorgelegten Belege eingesehen und stichprobenartige Kontrollen vorgenommen. Geprüft würde das Vereinskonto, weitere Konten oder Barkassen existieren laut dem Schatzmeister nicht. Die Kassenbestände stimmen mit den vorgelegten Vereinsbankauszügen und Buchungen überein. Bis auf die unten aufgelisteten Ausnahmen lagen für alle Buchungen Belege vor. Folgende Punkte merken wir als Ergebnis der Prüfung an. Just as context, it says below listed transactions were not assigned invoices. As there are none, that means that there were all of the transactions that were supposed to have invoices had invoices. Folgende Punkte merken wir als Ergebnis der Prüfung an. Es würden 1.100 für eine Kanalcruise in Amsterdam bezahlt, die kein Event von ESN Germany war, Trip der Westregion. Bei einer Rückerstattung an Santo Aziz Ogus, ja, vom dem 30. Dezember 2024 in Höhe von 750 € fehlen Belege für 350 € der Rückerstattung. Bei Sammeltransaktionen konnten die Empfänger nicht eingesehen werden. Zur besseren Nachvollziehbarkeit wird empfohlen, künftig ausschließlich Einzeltransaktionen durchzuführen. Thank you. This report is also available to you in English in the shared drive if you ever want to read it, or also in German. Any questions?
Here we go. Please scan the QR codes and submit your questions. Are there any questions to be expected?
Luigi in Göttingen. Is Santu reachable, or has he stopped total contact with ESN Germany?
Victoria AB, no. He did not respond when contacted.
There's a comment.
Philip NB. So we tried several times to reach out to him, and actually he responded to me. But unfortunately, we were not able to have a call or something else to clarify the things which were mentioned. So we tried to do it then for the next cash audit, for the financial audit, actually next NA.
Comment, Victoria AB. So as I mentioned, cash audit, as you probably know, is the basis for the financial audit. So despite the fact that he did not respond, we will keep on trying to get clarification.
Christian, listen to me. For the missing receipts for the transaction that amount to 350 euros. So the second question has been answered, but the first one, if you can disclose it, what is the purpose of the transaction?
Victoria AB, the purpose was a reimbursement for participation on, if I'm not mistaken, in national as well as international events, as well as travel costs to those events and back.
What other question?
Name and section, please.
Dirk Silken, National Board Treasurer, ESN Potsdam. What are possible legal consequences for the two mentioned points in your report regarding the financial audit?
Victoria AB. I'll say what I know, then I'll get corrected. But assuming no proof is provided for this reimbursement being done correctly within the proper financial activities of the treasurer, Santo will receive or should receive an invoice to pay the difference in the amount.
There's a comment.
Yeah, and I want also to point out, Oliver AB, I want to point out that he has been a member of the previous NBs, therefore he also will be voted on to be discharged, so we could not discharge him and then perform legal actions if we would like to.
Are there more questions to be expected? I'd like to propose to close the speakers list. Any objections? Okay, speakers list will be closed.
Luigi in Göttingen. Sorry, Derek. Just to have this clarification, because there is recommendation with the bundle transactions that are hard to track. I second or third or fourth time that I hear that recommendation. Is this habit stopped by now by the current national board?
I will first give the speaking right to Victoria because technically it's her Q&A and then the NB can answer.
So as Victoria AB, as far as I know, Dirk is not doing any bundle transactions.
Yes, Dirk Silken, National Board Treasurer, ESN Potsdam. First of all, the amount of transactions I do in general currently are quite limited through budget restrictions. Second of all, with my new reimbursement guidelines, I think I try to make more limitations in what us reimburse, and then second of all in this how a reimbursement process is going on, which allows me to cancel some reimbursement requests easier. And so I think I'm in the process of improving that, and also in frequent exchange with Victoria that she can give me feedback how I can improve my work. Sorry, to on point, I try not to make bundle transactions.
Philip, National Board, it's kind of a comment or a question. So there was the official document in the presentation. Was it the official protocol? And if yes, should we add then the account number and the account name?
Yes, that will be fixed. I will ask the cash auditors to again sign and the updated version with the bank information included.
Thank you very much for the presentation and for the Q&A. Okay, I don't have a slide for it because we just added it to the agenda, but now, Lena, would you like to give your update on the National Training Days?
Hi, Lena NB. Really good update on the National Training Days. We got approved for a grant, so training days will be way cheaper. Instead of 96 euros, it's going to be now 65. So maybe if you can advertise it again to your members or sign up, I will send an email after the NA again, but in the pre-text shop, from the old email, the price is already corrected, so you can just click on that link and sign up. We would be really happy about it because, yeah, as mentioned, we put a lot of effort in it, and it's going to be like tackle topics basically you need, so it would be good if you also participate. Yeah, that was it. Thank you. 65 now instead of 96.
Okay, now we'll have our break and sugar cube time, so don't forget to write your sugar cubes. Please be back in the plenary room, seated and ready to go at 10:45. Also, I would like to ask all of the national level members to please stay in the plenary and come to the front. Thank you, enjoy your break. Please start taking your seat because we're already 3 minutes delayed. Philip and Luisa can already... Ah, you're there. Perfect. In the agenda it says Philip and Luisa, so... Okay, let's continue with the next point on the agenda. And I will pass on the microphone.
Thank you. Do I do the clicking today on here? Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, hi everyone. It's me again. Now I'm standing here in my role as a member of the liaison office. And I'm going to talk about the VDSI. You heard this abbreviation before over the weekend. And about its next event, the Day of Student Volunteering. And the question, what is the role of our network and the network of the VDSI? So what is the VDSI? This one. So basically it's an umbrella organization or association for German student initiatives. It was founded officially in 2014, but it actually was created through the so-called Kölner Runde in 2008, I believe. So it's like a really long-standing association. And right now there are like in total 13 member associations. And we as EASE in Germany are actually one of them. So yeah, as I said, it's an umbrella organization and their motto or their vision is to be the shared, lived and heard voice of student volunteering in Germany, which we love. Here you can see all the other member associations and initiatives. You can see it's like a really broad range of like topics they're dealing with. And yeah, what are the goals? As I said, the vision, I'm sorry this is messed up, the visuals on this. The vision I already talked about, and the mission is that they want to promote the exchange and the collaboration of student initiatives, both on local level and national levels, which is like really unique, I think. And they want to create a vibrant network of exchange. So they have like 3 different pillars where they want to achieve those goals. And first of all, what I said, the network. It is the biggest network of its kind in Germany, which again is really amazing, and gives us the opportunity to connect with other associations. They do this with network calls. Everyone in every initiative can participate in those network calls and just talk about different topics. Everyone there can participate in the so-called congresses, which I will talk about later. And there are the local meetings called Lokalrunden. Before COVID, I mentioned they were like really, really active in cities, where different initiatives actually met and came together and to talk about different things, like ESN sections, but with other initiatives. And what they do is the exchange of experience and knowledge transfer. The VDSI kind of functions as like the joining point of all those different initiatives to bring them together, to bring the knowledge together and to change what we know best to tell others and vice versa. For instance, the VDSI has mastermind calls on like different topics like finances, legal matters, how to gain more members, everything like this. And again, every member from every initiative can participate, either hold the mastermind call or just participate to learn more and then take it back to the home section. Yeah, you can also do this in what I already mentioned, the local meetings. Oh no, jump back to it, sorry. There are different communication channels where we also can talk about different topics. And they also have a really good and experienced advisory board and also alumni system. It works a little bit differently than with ESN, also in our audit board, but they're really active and really there to help out sections in different topics. And yeah, the main thing why the VDSI was actually founded is advocacy. What they want to do, they want to show what every one of us is doing and give us more visibility and recognition on like a university level, but also on a higher like state level. Events where this is done is the Day of Student Volunteering, which I will talk about later. But also the VDSI created the certificate of engagierte Hochschule, so engaged higher education institution. The first time a German name is shorter than the English one. So this is a certificate which a university can get if they're really good in recognizing student engagement. For instance, cities, which we also have ESN sections, and universities have the certificate is TÜMI Munich, KIT Karlsruhe, and Witte Herdingen. So if you're like, wow, I'm from the city, I'm from the section, but I never have heard of this, you can approach university, talk about it, and maybe get also recognition for your ESN section. Or if you say, oh, my university is actually really good about recognizing us, you can talk to them that they get the certificate. Or if it's the other way around and say they don't really care about us, this is a way to get them more involved. There's more information about this whole topic on the VDSI website. I'm not going to talk about this in detail, just that you have seen the organization of the VDSI. Again, everyone can be involved in every one of those stages. So the local meetings are kind of standing on their own. But then, yeah, the initiatives send out representatives like me to be the connecting point between the VDSI board mainly, other initiatives, and then to bring back the information to their home initiatives. Then we also have a board with currently 3 people, and then also a National Assembly where we talk about things like we do here in ESN. So what are the benefits of this network? Again, what I said, it's really interdisciplinary. 1 minute. Oof. A lot of experience we can access. You can actually get discounts with the VDSI on the website that I mentioned up here. You can get legal advice, which is really important sometimes. They have their own pool of trainers, which is really amazing. And most importantly, they can influence political commands like that we have as well. Those are some of the partners, official partners of the VDSI. And now the VDSI Congress, which is their own kind of National Assembly. If you're really spontaneous, sign up for the next one in 2 weeks. This time it has like a Halloween motto. It is meant as a way of exchanging ideas, workshop, just get to know each other, get to know the other initiatives, and have a good time. Another benefit is the food. It's the most amazing food I've ever seen at one of those events, so to say. Disclaimer, working language is unfortunately German. Now, the one thing that's like really part of my heart, which I put a lot of effort in it and with the other OC members, is the Day of Student Volunteering. I'm going to skip to the next one because this is more important. When is it? November 14th in Berlin. It is free, and you get the opportunity to talk about topics that are important to us with politicians like Asa from the Bündnis Grün. Also, Armin Pialek will be there from the DSEE, so maybe we can talk about some of the grants we got or have to pay back maybe. And yeah, just a way to promote our work on a broader level within Germany. If you have more questions concerning the TDSE, please come to me, text me, whatever. This is an amazing opportunity, and I hope that a lot of you will participate.
Also, we have the Q&A, yes. So you have the opportunity to ask questions.
Our website, but yeah.
There you go. Please scan the QR code and ask your questions.
Zita CD. So thank you very much. I would like to ask if you could. Yeah, sorry.
Wait a second.
Now, okay. So thank you. I would like to ask if you could elaborate on this VDSI Congress. How is it different than the National Assembly of ESN Germany?
Luisa, National Coordinator. Great question. First of all, it is way smaller than our NA, so it's way more intimate. You get the chance to really talk to everyone. Usually we also have like a voting block and everything like this, so everything official. With the next NA, this is different. This is just for networking and knowledge transfer. And you can really talk about concrete topics that are on your mind, that are like important for different sections. Yeah, and like the next one will be way more free and like less structured than what we have experienced over this weekend.
Are there more questions to be expected? Levi, microphone.
Thank you. Nico, RC West. So I'd assume you need to have a certain level of experience in working regionally or nationally within ESN. Would that be correct? Or could, for example, a very, and I mean very motivated, quote-unquote, newbie also go?
Luisa, National Coordinator. It doesn't matter. It's great if you have experience. As I said, you can bring it to the team. But also, if you're a newbie, this is great because you can learn everything from the start. Actually, it's sometimes kind of nice to don't have any prejudice or like any topic you're specialized in. Again, also everyone is so open, like not judgy at all. So it doesn't matter if you have experience or not. We're just really happy for everyone that is active with the VDSI.
Are there more questions to be expected?
Nico Seiler, RC West. Is there a way to get travel costs to be partly refunded?
Luisa, National Coordinator. I can talk from my experience. I don't know how the current national board is handling this. But if you are sent as a representative of ESN, in the past you were reimbursed because you're representing ESN. If you're if let's say 10 ESNers will go there, it's probably not likely that you get embarrassed. That's also not likely, but that you get reimbursed. I think that's something maybe you also have to talk about your local section. But yeah, so the 60 euro actually include the, or if you're talking about the Congress or the Congress, the 60 euro include accommodation and food. So I think that's a good deal for like a 4 to 3 day weekend. Yeah, I hope that helps.
Zita, CT. You mentioned a lot of other student organizations who are a part of this network. I want to ask if you have experience with any collaboration with these mentioned organizations.
Luisa, National Coordinator. I know that, not personally I haven't worked with them, but I know that other sections have worked, for instance, with MLP for funding actually for different events. Legal advice from one of the legal associations was used. So yeah, there are a lot of cooperations like on the more regional level, which I don't really get to know a lot about because yeah, more on the outside area when it comes to this. But yeah, they're really happy when it comes to cooperating and taking the first step in this.
Are there more questions to be expected? I propose to close the speakers list. Any objections? All right, the speakers list is closed. Thank you very much for the presentation and for the Q&A.
Hello. I say Erasmus, you say plus. Erasmus? Plus. Erasmus? Plus. Erasmus? Plus. Great. I want to talk with you about the future of Erasmus. And thank you so much. And of course, before we go into the future, we have to take a look into the past. So what is the Erasmus Plus program? It's a program from the European Union. Since 1987, over 6 million participants actually attended or had the opportunity to go abroad, go on mobility with Erasmus Plus. Over 1 million Erasmus babies. Please don't mention this to your IRO because, yeah, you know. And of course, through going on mobility, either as a staff member or a student, you gain a lot of skills, so adaptability, problem solving, and cultural understanding. And I think regarding the Erasmus Plus, there are two things. One is the content of the program, and one is the financial part of the program. So actually to give students money to go abroad. And maybe you ask yourself, okay, but where does the money come from? In the past and currently, there is always a multi-annual financial framework. This is the budget from the EU, and as you can see, since 2021, thank you so much, and is until 2027, and it's over 1,134 billion euros actually. This is the whole EU budget. And here is hidden the money for Erasmus Plus. It's here. It's from the Heading 2, Cohesion and Values. It's implemented there. And the 6.7% are roughly 2 billion euros. Okay, interesting. So far, for the content of the program for the last years, there is two important things I would like to mention. It's the 4 horizontal priorities. Maybe some of you heard of them. So it's inclusion and diversity, digital transformation, environment and fight against climate change, and participation in democratic life. And also the ECHE, the Erasmus Charter for Higher Education, I mentioned already on Friday. It's basically given to every university in order that they can actually also send people abroad, that staff and students can go on mobility. And maybe you noticed that for the 4 horizontal priorities, actually we as ESN, with our courses, take action on these and try to implement them, as well as you as a local Erasmus initiative sometimes get special funding, around 500 euros for special topics. Every year it's inclusion. During the year of the European election, it was, of course, participation in democratic life. Okay, so maybe we should discuss the future. What is up? What is up? What are the plans for Erasmus Plus? The financial plan was released as a proposal, actually, so a budget for the whole European Union. This is the budget, 1,763 trillion euros, so a lot more than before, almost doubled for the next years or 6-year cycle. And again, I'm just showing you where you can find Erasmus Plus. It's here, competitiveness, prosperity, and security. And here is our lovely Erasmus Plus. And and it's roughly 36.2 billion euros. Actually, some say it's a bit more, so that we actually have like a double amount of Erasmus Plus money. We can say, hey, that's really great, right? So it's time to party. Woo! We have more money for Erasmus Plus. No, sorry, because it's really great that we have more money from Erasmus Plus. But as you all know, probably we have high increasing living costs, increasing housing costs, and also when you go abroad, like you have so many things to pay that actually Erasmus Plus cannot cover everything anymore, and sometimes or often students also have to work. So this is really what we have to advocate, and also advocate as ESN International, and also we as the liaison office advocated. So actually our plan was that it's doubled 5 times, and of course we aimed a bit higher, and this is now the new proposal. So yeah, actually with this proposal from the money, so the 36.2 billion euros, you can just send the same amount of students abroad like right now. So there's actually no increase in students sending abroad, just that you know. Content-wise, there is also now the chance to advocate. So everybody who went to the advocacy workshop, so to share our ideas and vision and goals for the new program generation. And what will happen probably will be changes in the 4 horizontal priorities. There will be changes in the Erasmus Charter for Higher Education and many things more. So we would like to advocate against them and share our ideas. And now I'm coming to a part where I would like to share you some of the recommendations, which are also kind of important for you. Because in the end, you are the people, and your sections are helping Erasmus Plus, the students. So with your work, we can advocate. And the first thing, here are some of the recommendations from the document I showed to you. So it's about inclusion and diversity, digital transformation, also again the participation in democratic life, post-mobility and make the most of their international experience, so post and pre-mobility phase, EU and the Union of Skills, maybe some of you heard about this already, a really big topic, and then environment and climate change, fight against climate change. And the first recommendation from ESN is actually a topic which we already discussed. Also Lena, maybe you talk to Lena, because ESN Braunschweig is now actually to advocate for student volunteering, that people from ESN, everybody like you, get their work recognized, so volunteering work get recognized. So this is one of the recommendations from ESN, and do this through existing tools. And what we as ESN are already doing is actually, for example, this type of project. So ESN applies with different partners to get money, get funding. And maybe you remember the name ECHM, so Enriching Communities to Engage Mobilities. This was a conference I attended, which I show in my updates. And this is how I also get to know more about everything. So attending conference is not only about, hey, nice, I meet people, I can talk to them, ooh, I go to Brussels, ooh, I go there. No, it's actually also to get to know all the different details on Erasmus Plus and what is connected to it. So this is one thing, you can check it out. There's a website, I can also share the link. And there are really nice opportunities and ideas how you and your local section and your events can building a bridge between you and the local society and let the Erasmus students engage with the local society. The last thing is the pre-mobility phase in the end, where we think that we should focus more on this, on the Erasmus Plus program. So not only EU students, but also non-EU mobility students, so they can basically adjust better to the different cultural backgrounds. And what is ESN doing there already, or what are you doing already, is activities.esn.org. Yeah, I mean, Dirk is laughing, but this has so many different meanings for us, for the National Board, and for ESN International. If you're uploading your events on this website, this shows the people and also the European Union and the Commission what we are doing, what we as the Erasmus generation doing, and also often what we as Erasmus alumni is doing in the end. So to make sure that everybody feels included, that they don't get a culture shock, probably they will get it, but maybe a bit different than expected. So these are two of the recommendations from ESN. What I would like to ask you, so what is the action for you? You're like, Philip, nice, thank you for giving us an overview. I would like to ask you to show your events. There will be the Erasmus Plus Days from the 13th of until the 18th of October. Upload your activities at activities.esn.org. This helps ES International, this helps the whole Erasmus Plus program, and also us, so Dirk and the new partnership manager, because then we can go to our people and say, hey, to our partners and hopefully future partners, look, we have so many events, we have so many people we reach with our activities, so please give us money. Yeah, you mentioned already, and Benjamin as well, so if you're not in contact with the IRO, please do it and advocate together, because internationalization is not a topic in every university. Some universities are super lucky because maybe they have a vice president for internationalization, but most of them don't have this. And of course, please continue your fantastic work. Engage with the Erasmus students and international students. So yeah, great job. Thank you so much. And there's also now time. And of course, thank you to Sarah and Victor. Sarah is the liaison officer for European Affairs, and to Victor, the advocacy officer of ES in Germany.
Thank you. Zita CT, thank you so much for the presentation. I wanted to ask if there is any tools or presentation templates that the national level can provide to local sections for better advocacy and for the Erasmus days.
Philip, National Board. No, not so far, but there's a website, I think from the European Commission or European Union, which are basically tells you everything what you can do. So you upload the events, or you basically can share all the event description from your local event platform, and then more people can actually join. Of course, it's also up to you if you have an event and the capacity to host more people, but this is possible. So it's a website, you put all the details of the event inside, and yes, so I will share the link later on. But no, from the national level, there's nothing.
There is a comment.
Yes, Yula NB, also a personal recommendation from me. This year at Erasmus Days, there is an initiative where there are paper planes, actually, that say Erasmus Days 2025, that you can print. And if you get in contact with the international offices, maybe you can arrange something, especially for the social media managers and communication managers. Maybe this is something to promote the Erasmus Days. So just as a heads up, this is happening.
Are there more questions to be expected?
Shashank, yes, in Saarbrücken, you mentioned the Erasmus Plus programs, but I couldn't quite figure out digital transformation. So what is it that can actually help benefit Erasmus Plus through the digital transformation? Maybe you could give an example.
Philip, National Board. Thank you for the question. The first thing which came to my mind, that I think digitalization and the transformation was more or less only possible due to COVID. And what is actually digital transformation is the OLA, the Online Learning Agreement. Maybe you heard about it. Because actually the idea is that when you get notified, hey, you actually can go abroad, please now fill out the learning agreement, the online learning agreement. That this document is just uploaded online and doesn't have to be printed again. Then you sign it in a print version, then you scan it and upload it again. So everything should take place online. In Germany, we really, when I talk to the international offices and to the coordinators of the IROs, they also really would like to have this online, but some of the partner universities don't provide the tool in the end. And why it's beneficial, the online learning agreement, in the end, it should make sure that all your credits get recognized automatically. This is then the end goal, because this is still a lag, especially in Germany, that credits don't get recognized, or that all credits get recognized in the end. And another project is the Erasmus Plus app, so you can check it in your app store, but it's not really user-friendly. Yeah, it looks a bit old, clunky, yeah. But this would be actually a really good thing, in my opinion, so to have an app where you can actually apply already for university, you have everything there, the online learning agreement. I think Yara wants to stop me. We can talk in the break.
Are there more questions to be expected? I propose to close the speakers list. Any objections? Okay, speakers list will be closed.
Nico Seiler, RC West. So, currently few, if any, student services or in German Studierendenwerke recognize ESN volunteering when applying to extend one's BAföG grant if there is a lack of ECTS, while volunteering at higher education institutions, for example the Fachschaft or the student parliament, are explicitly recognized as a reason for leeway. Do you think there's anything in our power as ESN to possibly change that, or to basically have our volunteers backs who might need our support in that way?
I'm Philip, National Board. Tough question. So of course, what you as a local section could do, you can reach out to, of course, the student parliament or the Fachschaften, advocate for yourself and show what you're doing, why it is available for the society, and how much time you also spend. And it's actually, yeah, exactly. Of course, it would be great if there's like a gremium semester, so like a general volunteering semester in your university, and it's recognized in your curricula. As ESN Germany, we can try to advocate, of course, with the National Student Union or the VDSI. Where's Luisa? And Luisa, raising her hand. So this is actually also, I think, one of the main priorities of the VDSI. So I think there we actually have to advocate together in order to have a change. And then, of course, in Germany, education is state, it's like related to the states. So every state has like their own system and higher education laws, which makes this really difficult.
There was a comment up there first.
Luisa, National Coordinator, comment. What Philip said, actually the VDSI is trying to either get ECTS for your volunteer work or both BAföG. This is a long process, unfortunately, but the more people support it, desto easier it is to reach that goal. But this is one of the main goals of the VDSI, actually.
The second comment was actually here in the front, but Philip, Lena, it's all good. You can already go there.
Jule, National Board. In my experience, when I was local president in Potsdam, I actually just approached the Studierendenwerk, actually out of my own interest, because I wanted an extension for the BAföG. And it really depends on probably the people working at the Studierendenwerk, but to actively approach them, also maybe in the role as the president of your local ESN section, might actually do the work maybe a little bit, because in my case, that is possible at our Studierendenwerk.
Third comment.
Nico Seiler, RC West. So first of all, thank you for answering this. I know it is a very tough question. What prompted me to ask this question is because in personal experience, the Studienwerk has shut down my application to get BAföG extended, even though I had letters of engagement on a local and also a national level provided by the previous administration's vice president. So I think a lot more might be affected. So it's good if we can have that conversation ongoing.
Philip, National Board. Last thing I just want to say. So I think more or less, just together we can make the change, or like that the change will happen. And unfortunately, change documents and especially policies and laws it's not a thing which happens in 1 year. Often it takes longer, like 2 or 3 years. So it's actually like a thing for a longer process, a longer strategy. But I think actually with the VDSI, with the certificate for engaged universities, this could be a first step to bring universities on our side and have changes in these structures and focusing on student volunteering also as something that you should learn as a student in higher education institutions.
Okay, thank you very much for your questions. Philip, read your appreciations too. Don't forget. We did that already. Okay, next up are the spring break updates.
Hi guys, it's the spring break updates now. Let's talk about what the OC has been doing and what's going on currently with this huge national event. So as you can see, those are some of the visuals that the amazing media team has been creating so far. And if you haven't looked at the Instagram profile yet, please do so and please repost everything that you can because this really, really, really helps us promote the event. This is kind of what Spreebrek looks like this year. Okay, those are some updates and I'm going to continue through the slides. They have been written by the heads of OC. Yes, so let's go through that. So for the heads of the OC, they've been doing an amazing job. They've been leading the meetings. They've been leading the working groups, as well as the team leads, of course. They've been leading their respective working groups, and they've been working very, very hard and doing a great job in, getting everything sorted out. Then what's also really great is that we've successfully completed the whole OC. So all the new members have been elected and the OC is actually fully complete. So every single position in the OC is filled, which is fantastic. And I'm hoping for this every year with every national event. Then for the finances and tickets, as you already know, the ticket sales are open. They have been for a while and they are still open. The treasurer or the vice head for finances, together with Dirk as the national treasurer and also Ramona as the pre-tix coordinator, did a great job preparing everything and getting the tickets out as soon as possible. So if you ever have any questions about the tickets or the finances, feel free to reach out to the OC for questions on that. So what's been going on with communication? The survival guide is on the way. We're collecting all of the important information and it's going to be out as soon as possible. We're also exploring couch surfing options with ESN Berlin for the OC members. And we've also introduced an additional position, actually, which is a coordinator for the international guests, especially for those traveling alone. There are some international guests coming with their sections or their friends, and they already know someone. Of course, the international coordinator is also available for them, but especially the international guests who will be traveling alone to Spreebrek, we thought needed a little bit more support and a little bit more assistance to come to Berlin and feel great and really enjoy this great event. So this is why we added this position. Then about the accommodation, this year we will have 2 hostels. One of them is the Generator Hostel at Alexanderplatz, and the other one is A&O Berlin Mitte. And there will be dedicated welcome teams on Thursday and on Friday for check-in to make sure that everything is going well. And yeah, so that you have a responsible person at the hostel to ask any questions that you might have. For the media team, as I've already advertised, they're doing a great job advertising the event on Instagram. Yeah, we have new graphics for this year. They're posting reels, stories. So have a look over there and see what you can find. And then also they're working on the promotional packages right now, and they're working to finish them as soon as possible, so that not only we can promote the event, but you also have the tools to promote the event to your international students, because of course you bought the tickets and you need to resell them to your students. And this is what the promotional packages will be for, and they will hopefully be out very, very soon. So yeah, watch your inbox for more details on that. For partnerships, there are some exciting news coming up, hopefully very, very soon as well. The partnerships manager or coordinator of the OC, Francesco, he's in contact with many, many different possible partners. We already have a lineup of partners who are interested in providing some goodies for the welcome bags. We're talking to partners to support us at the other parts of the event. And also for that, there will be more information very soon, possibly or hopefully already in the survival guide. So now coming to some of the program points. The day program team is working very hard to see what you can do during the day. The opening ceremony, the room is booked, and we're currently inviting different speakers for the event. If you have any suggestions or any wishes, if there's anyone who you would really like to see giving a speech at Spreebreak at the opening ceremony, then please reach out to us. Yes, or if you even have a story to share. So if you're an international or a volunteer who would like to talk about something specific at the opening ceremony, then please contact Aurora, who's the head of the day program team. Then we're also, of course, working on the flag parade. The ambulances are booked, so we're making sure that everyone is staying safe. We have already told the police about the event, and we're waiting for an approval, which will probably only come pretty shortly before the event, but let's hold our thumbs and we're hoping for the best. And there will be more day program tips coming up very soon. The survival guide will include a list of things that you can do during the day, and we're also looking into booking some offers that we can provide for you from our side. Then for the night program, for Thursday there's a pub night planned with different pubs. For Friday it's the Ringbahn-Rundfahrt 2.0, so who's been at Spreebreak last year, you already know what we did there. That's great. So we're doing that again because that was really, really fun, and it's a great way to see the city at night. And then for Saturday night, we're working on a club night, and right now we're pretty confident that we have found a location that we can work with, which is a great achievement, and there will be more information on that very soon as well. Of course, there's also a safety and awareness team who is working on creating a concept to make sure that everyone is safe at the event and that everyone has fun in a safe way. And then there will also be an alternative program, which will be, for example, a Christmas market visit, because even though it's only November, some of the Christmas markets are already open, and I think it's a really nice idea to have a look at how Christmas markets can look in Berlin, because sometimes they're a bit unconventional, to be honest. Yes, as I already said, there's a safety team. We have 2 leads, a female lead and a male lead, to make sure that everyone has a person to speak to. They will be available to support you with any concert that you might have before, during, or after the event. And their mission is to keep Spreebreak safe, inclusive, and supportive for everyone involved. Now to the logistics. The logistics team is working on the most efficient way to hand out the goodie bags. We know that this has been a bit chaotic over the past years, and it has the potential to be chaotic because we're handing out over 1,000 goodie bags. But Elena, the logistics coordinator, is working very hard on creating a concept to make that work out best, so that every one of you who signed up for the event gets their goodies in time, and so that the OC and we have the least stress possible. The open call for helpers is already live as well. So if you're interested in helping during Spree break at any of the activities, then feel free to sign up. If you have any questions before signing up, please reach out to the OC and they will be happy to support you with any questions that you might have about this. And then also we're awaiting info from the TK, for example, on merchandise, goodie bag stuff, materials, and yeah, this kind of is combined with the partnership situation, but we, as I said, have some partners lined up to fill the goodie bags up for you guys. Folks, I'm sorry. So, do you want to be a helper? Then fill out the form on the left, and also follow us on Instagram. I'm going to leave that there for a few seconds. I don't see enough phones. Okay, I see some phones going down again, so I'm going to skip it in 3, 2, 1. And there you can buy your tickets. So if you haven't done so, this is the most important link. This is where you can find the Spree break ticket shop. Yes, so please buy your tickets now. Scan the QR code if you haven't done so yet. And we're very much looking forward to seeing you in Berlin. Yes, that's it. Thank you.
Dirk Silken, National Board Treasurer, ESN Potsdam. Have you promoted this event towards other national organizations?
Hannah, NB, yes. I can elaborate a little bit. The email with all of the information as well as the registration link was sent out to all ESN sections. The early bird sign up or the early bird ticket shop that we did was also available to the national organizations of the bordering countries to Germany. And we're also working on a second email to further promote the event. And Paula has been reaching out to different NOs who she knows that they joined the event last year to specifically approach them individually.
There is a comment.
Nico Seiler, RC West Night Program Lead of Spree break 2025. I also know that some of our OC members who happen to also join the web next week in Switzerland, they do have a personal great interest to promote Spree break in person and hopefully engage some people right there, right up in their faces, so they can't just not read those emails, they will hear about Spree break.
Tom, ESN Berlin. Can you give already some update how the recruitment of helpers is going so far, since compared to the last years, neither in the presentation nor the sign-up form any benefits for helpers were mentioned? And what does that mean in potential stress for ESN Berlin also after last year's situation?
Hannah, MB. I'm aware of the situation from last year and I'm doing my very best, and also the OC is doing their very best to avoid this for this year. Not only to avoid this, but to make sure that this will not happen again, of course. I'm going to give the word maybe to Ramona in a second because she's been in contact with Ariane a lot more, and they've been working on how to better support the helpers and how to offer them something. So Ramona will probably be able to tell you a little bit more, but yes, we are aware of the situation and we're taking measures to make sure that this does not happen again. And I do not know how exactly the recruitment is going right now. I do not have access to the results of the form at this moment.
Yeah, maybe.
Procedural?
Oliver B. to make it easier, maybe it makes sense that the other OC members come to the front and help you answering the questions, since then I don't have to run around so much. And I think it's also quite nice to...
Another procedural. I saw you, but you were raising your hand as a comment.
Thank you, Nico Seiler, RC West. Do you want the OC leads or all present OC members to be up front? Yes, sure. So I'd say all OC members, please stand up. Please stand up.
Just because there's so many people, please wait for me to give you the permission to talk and don't. I saw your... Okay, so there was an initial comment from Ramona.
Yeah, to add up on Hannah's answer, I'm currently in contact with Arjan, the financial head of OC, so we can check if there is a possibility for a discount for helpers, especially for helpers that are at spray break, and for people that offer couch surfing spots, for example, for ESN Berlin. We're currently checking the budget, basically, and check in with Dirk about that too. And we will come back to you if we have an answer.
There was another comment.
Patricia, ESN Düsseldorf, and PR team. So I don't have an answer to that, but I just wanted to use this moment to highlight and please promote the helpers request and sign up. Otherwise, Berlin is also gonna be affected. And the PR, the safety team, it's led by, it's based on helpers. So we need, in order to be successful and provide the best safety we could, according to our plans, we need helpers to make that happen. So please.
Are there more questions to be expected? I propose to close the speakers list. Any objections? Okay, speakers list will be closed. Also, could you take one step back that I can also see you raising your hands? Okay. Next question.
Walid, ESN Dortmund. So you mentioned there would be possibly some optional day program, and can we maybe get at least a date or a time when we can understand more, so we decide how much we sell our tickets? Like, should we include or exclude that as a cost or something?
Hannah and B, the current plan is that if there will be day program that costs additional money, we will put those as additional products in the pre-tax shops that your attendees can book themselves. So we would like to make every attendee of every single section to make their own decision. Yes.
Comment?
The question was, when can we hear about it? Like, can you give us some date so we can decide if we start tickets before that or wait for it?
Aurora, ESN Berlin, and day program team lead. Soon, we don't have a date yet because there were some complications in communication, but we're trying to give it to you as soon as possible.
Dirk Silken, National Board Treasurer, ESN Potsdam. Question towards Hannah. What is your biggest learning so far to make Spray Break 2026, if it's happened, better than the current one, if this finish?
Hannah and B, I think the biggest issue was the time crunch that this has been working on. The planning needs to start way earlier. As I said on Friday, Spreebrek is an event of a size with roughly 1,500 participants, or up to 1,500 participants, and it is not possible to plan such an event in 4 months. The event needs to be planned roughly a year ahead. The idea is to book the hostels and the club in December of this year, January of next year latest, to have the heads and leads of OC in late January, early February, so that the rest of the OC members can be appointed in March. And all of the work can really start with the accommodation and the club already booked. I think this will help a lot with the planning process, and I think the time crunch is actually the biggest problem. In addition to that, for every year it will be important to have the OC as full as possible, so to have as many positions in the OC as possible filled, especially, of course, the Vice Head for Finances, so that we can have a budget as soon as possible. In addition to that, we need to sell the tickets way earlier. This time we started them in early September, I think, if I remember correctly. This is not possible. That's not fair to the sections. It's not fair to us. It doesn't work for anyone. We cannot do that again. It doesn't work out.
What about your question?
Christian, ESN Kiel. I may have missed this, but our PR manager was asking about potential promotional materials in the past. I believe this had come in the form of an email, and it would just work better out for us if we had those like in an easy access way as opposed to just reposting Instagram posts. Is there any plan of action for sending that out to the individual sections?
Hannah and B, yes. We're hoping to have that done within the next days, week, something like that. The PR team is working very hard, or the media team. They're creating a promotional package with material for the sections to reuse, to individualize also. Yes, so we're hoping to have that done very, very soon.
Luis, yes, in Göttingen. Will the participants of the alternative program get the equivalent cost benefit, so to say? If the party costs 15 euros to organize per person, will the participants of the alternative program get the equivalent cost of their alternative program, instead of having them basically paying for the other people to go party?
Nico Seiler, RC West, head of the night program. So the question is very valid, and I do believe it stems from the fact that alternative programs, be it locally, nationally, or even internationally, can feel lackluster or feel like an afterthought just to satisfy that requirement. And I do believe what we have in the works is, in terms of benefit and in terms of enjoyment for the participants, equal. And I would not put it on the same... Well, I would not bind it to any amount of financial expenditure, because I do believe that we can probably create an equally enjoyable alternative program for less money, simply because that's the way it is, because renting a club is expensive, sadly. So what we have in the works, we believe it will be satisfying enough, and we do not think we should restrict ourselves to meet that mark.
Hannah and B. To be completely honest, for this year I do completely agree with Nico. For the future, I don't. Because it's, you said it right, it's really, really expensive to book clubs. On the other hand, I do not think that it is sustainable for the long term to do it that way. And I think that it's really, really important that our alternative program is not only, I think, emotionally of the same value, but also financially. For now, this makes it the easiest for us to organize the best event for all international students. So, as I said, I fully agree with Nico that for this year, this is the best solution to do it like that.
Okay, thank you very much, Hannah, for your presentation. All of you for the Q&A. Read your appreciations, and you can take your seats again.
It's me again, or it's still me. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the national event, in brackets, calendar. That's because the name isn't finalized. If you have a cool name, please let me know. Not a cool name, but an informative name, which really works well, hopefully. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what you can expect. Starting from now on, we will fill the calendar with many, many different things, which I'm going to present to you in a second. I'm also going to provide you with a link to the calendar. Please don't be shocked, there is not much in there yet. This NA is in there, and the web, and I think the training days. This is because we were on quite a time crunch to finish the concept before the NA, and I thought it was the most important to already present everything to you, to already provide you with the link, and then over the next few days and weeks we will fill it with all of the events that we can, or all of the things that we can think of. Because this is actually not just an event calendar, which is why I'm looking for a name. We're going to fill the calendar, of course, with many, many of ESN Germany's national events. All of them, to be concrete. So you will find in the calendar our national assemblies, the national training days, the national Erasmus Games, Spree breaks, a possible summer national event that we might organize in the future. So you will find all of the nationally organized events in there. You will also find the regional events there, so the local platforms and other regional events, be it regional events that are also open for other participants, or also large regional events that are close to the regions, but events that we still want you to be aware of, that they're happening for scheduling reasons. This calendar is also going to include the times and dates of the meetings and calls. So, for example, the network and update call, the community calls, the team calls, working groups, section calls, and GA consultation calls, and everything else that we can think of that might be relevant for you. It's also, of course, going to include international events. I see Clara actively shaking her hands, which is great because it's really, really difficult, to be honest, to keep track of all of the international events that are happening. And it's also difficult for us. So this calendar can be a great opportunity to bring a bit more light into this situation. So the international events that we will include are, for example, the regional platforms, the EGM, the International Erasmus Games community meetings, the General Assembly, NAs from other NOs, and also larger national events from other NOs, things like Sea Battle or the Ibiza trip. Then we will also include some deadlines and reminders to make it easier for you to track whatever we're expecting from you. So deadlines for registrations and applications for events, for the section questionnaire, payment deadlines, of course, open calls for national positions, teams, and OCs, the ESN card order, and everything else that we can think of to remind you of. There's going to be a huge education and advocacy calendar, so including all of the meetings that are not exactly ESN, but for example, LAI, the DAAD meetings for the SE. You can see the long, long list there, and you can talk to Philip if you and the liaison office if you have any more questions about those many opportunities that you will find in there. And in each entry, you will be able to find the date and time, location, the target group. So if this is, for example, for a specific region or for a specific position in the network, you will find a short description of the entry, the registration information, and the contact information. So who of the national level you need to contact in order to find out more about the entry. There's a color coding system. It looks like this. I asked Svenja if I can use the colors, even though they're not ESN colors, because I wasn't sure. So this is the color coding system for the calendar, and I'm going to speed up a little bit. Who to contact? This is the list. You can contact me for national events, the regional coordinators, everyone else from the national level responsible for deadlines and calls, Clara for international things, and Philip and the liaison office, and also Clara for the education and advocacy thing. If you don't know who to ask me. I'm trying my best to respond as quickly as possible, and I'm going to guide you to whoever can help you best. And this is where you can find the calendar. Currently, it is required for you to have an email address that is connected to ESN Germany. I know I'm hearing the sounds. I know that this isn't ideal. I'm hoping to find a solution for this in the very near future. For now, the only options I can choose for the Google Calendar is to make it completely public, so for every single person in the whole wide world to see it, or to limit it to ESN Germany. And I decided to limit it to ESN Germany for now, but let's see how this goes in the near future. If you have any questions, suggestions, wishes, struggles, let me know. And as I said, if you have the perfect name for the calendar, please also reach out to me via Slack, email, maybe WhatsApp if I'm being nice, but Slack and email are preferred. Or talk to me during the rest of the day. And that's it.
Are there questions to be expected? Okay, I propose to close the speakers list. Any objections? Perfect, thank you. Thank you for... Oh, did you raise your hand? Okay, is it still open? Okay, yes, please. If there are more people that can think of questions, now it's the time, because the speakers list is still open. So take the opportunity.
Also, if you already have a name, just send it up there.
Birkan from ESN Kiel. Can you please show the QR code again?
Hi, Peter from ESN Bielefeld. So I just checked and I remember that there was a calendar for national and international events already created, and I was just wondering what happens to the old one and why was a new one created in the first place? And also, in future, do you think that this concept is going to be sustainable if the old one was not used?
Hannah and B, I would be very grateful if you could send me a link to that calendar, because I wasn't aware of that, to be completely honest. This wasn't part of my transition, and I do not have access to another shared event calendar on the events at ESN-Germany account. So this is news to me. I'm going to look into that. I think it doesn't make sense to have two calendars. So if, as soon as I've looked at the old one, it will probably be retired. I will look if there's any part of the system or anything that I've forgotten that is interesting, and I will include it into the new calendar. But yeah, as the new one is already fully created, I will probably retire the old one and take everything important with me into the new one. But thank you, that's interesting.
Cool. Christian, ESN, Kiel. I just had a question if there were any thoughts. It might be too much clutter, but to add like bigger section events such as like week of welcomes within there. That way we're aware of the other kind of big individual section event periods going on around Germany. So with planning and whatnot.
Hannah and B, I think things like the welcome weeks I wouldn't include for now because of the potential for cluttering up the calendar too much. Maybe let's have a look at it in half a year and see how full it actually is. If it's empty enough, we could for sure think of this because I do think that it's a good point. Other larger local events, things like bigger trips with many international students, or like sections collaborations which are not regional, like organized on the regional level but within 2 sections. If they're really big, I think it might be a good idea to also add them. So if your section ever does something that you think should be added to the calendar, then let me know and we'll look into it.
Are there more questions to be expected? I propose to close the speakers list. Any objections? Okay, speakers list is closed.
I just wanted to ask, there were some...
Name and section?
Yes. Zeta City. So there are some events in the calendar, for example, the I or TCA, and how do sections know to whom can they reach out if they don't know what kind of event is it?
Hannah and B, there's contact information in all of the entries.
Comment, Zeta City. Yes, I saw the contact information, but if they don't know that it is about advocacy or it is about this stuff, how do they know to whom to reach out? Or maybe I misunderstood something.
Hannah and B, I'm currently not 100% sure whether I understand the question, but I see some commenting hands, so maybe Philip or Ollie.
Oliver, AB, didn't you just mention that there will be a short description of the event? So I think that probably solves it.
Other comments solved? Philip, your comment is solved? Okay, thank you for the presentation, for the Q&A, and Hannah, please read your appreciations later too. All right. The moment we've been waiting for.
So now it's me for the last time. I'm presenting you now the results of the voting this morning. So we will start with the public voting. First of all, the SOS proposals, the one for with the change to the statutes, the restructuring of the COC team got accepted with 97%. Then for the other proposals, who are like just changes to our standing orders and amendments to that, were also all accepted. Then for ESN Köln as organization committee for like, it's still a mistaken. So Winter NA 26. At least it was in the question, the right one. So there, you also approved. So so the next time we will be not very far from here in Cologne, or looking forward to that. And then the secret voting. We start with the discharge of the old NB. There we can see that all of president, vice president, treasurer, and event manager got discharged. Yeah.
Philip, National Board, procedure questions. Just please change in the first row for the president the percentage because it's wrong.
Yeah. Thank you. Kannst du einmal gucken? Can you check the real percentage in the GA app? So yeah, we will check where the mistake was made. One moment. Results. Show results. Geh mal nach oben. Mach mal hier auf das andere. Yeah. So the correct percentages is 94%. So 0.1, yeah. So perfect. And the same goes for the other NB members of the old NB, like communication manager, project manager, IT manager, and partnership manager. So they all have been discharged. Next up is like the voting on the new candidate section. If the student network for active collaboration would be, and drum roll please. They got approved, so please come to the front. Congratulations. Ooh. So. Congratulations, you can now be a candidate section. So, yeah. Then, now we come to the personal votings, and there, of course, like I have to ask you if you accept the vote. I have to do that in German, so please also answer in German with "ja," if you want to. Otherwise, with "no." But yeah. I think there's a comment.
Levi AB, for the question, if you're accepting the vote, only yes is not acceptable. Do you have to say, ja, ich nehme die Wahl an?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Procedural, Svenja NB, do we have the other applicant for vice chair present or online? No? Okay.
Like, we would call them to do it on the phone if they're. Yeah. So, for main chair of the NA sharing team 2025, drum roll. Chiara, you got elected by 100%. So. Nimmst du die Wahl an?
Ja, ich nehme die Wahl an.
Then, next up, the vice chair for the next year's sharing team. So, drum roll. And it's Sita. Nimmst du die Wahl an?
Ja, ich nehme die Wahl an.
So, and last but not least, for the technical chair of next year's sharing team, Marco, with 100% vote.
Sorry, I'm ready for my German.
Marco, nimmst du die Wahl an?
Ja, ich nehme die Wahl an.
Yeah. Maybe you want to take a picture together as a new sharing team? Yeah, of course. Maybe go there. So, perfect. So, next up are the lovely AB elections. They are for the main auditor. Drumroll. Victoria, you got elected with 100%. Victoria, nimmst du die Wahl an?
Ja, ich nehme die Wahl an.
Yeah, we can stay in front. And next up, legal auditor. Drumroll. And Martin. Got. So. Martin, nimmst du die Wahl an?
Ja, ich nehme die Wahl an.
And that brings us already to the end of this voting results.
Yes. AB, also please take a picture with the Eastern Germany flag. Okay. Now, last but not least, we will do the appreciation round. Be aware, you have 2 minutes per person. So there will be the Q&A in the GA app. That means that you can send in your appreciations in the GA app already. So you do not need to speak if you don't want to. It is here. There's a procedural.
Philip, National Board, I would like to ask the OC to come to the front. Yeah.
Heads of OC, do you want to talk? Olli? Meisa?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah, just thank you, everybody. You really made this amazing NA for us. Like, I think we didn't had any lot of trouble with you, and you like made it so much easier with all the things. Yeah, we did. I don't know. Like, I'm also just overwhelmed and don't have much words. I don't know, maybe my fellow OC members have more.
I prepared something, but I say it later.
Wow, maybe I should have written it on paper, but I ran it through my head a little bit. Yeah. First of all, there are no words that can express the gratitude of this wonderful opportunity. Thank you to the rest of the OC members, and thank you to the helpers, and thank you to everyone who contributed to this work. I do have one small thing to the heads of the OC. First of all, Maisa, you are a very inspirational person. It was such a huge opportunity to work with you. You were always wonderful. You were always there for us. You always made sure nobody falls back behind, and you always picked us up whenever we needed. And kept pushing forward. And Ollie, you are a school. And this is us graduating here now. Working with you taught me a lot about how to be strict with rules, because it's very important. Otherwise, none of this would have been possible without these rules. I would just like to cite you here. Es gibt Grundregeln. Yeah, that's it from me. Thank you very much.
I just want to say a few words, because it's my first mandate also of being the president of ESN Dortmund, and I couldn't be happier to welcome you all here and having you sitting in our plenaries and just enjoying your time here in Dortmund. Thank you so much for being cooperative. Thank you so much for being so friendly and doing your best. We appreciate you lots. Thank you again.
I'll try to be quick with it. I've never been to an NA before. I heard a lot about NAs. I've been in ESM for a year now. I try to take up responsibilities, but this was such a huge responsibility that right now that is over, I'm very happy that I took. Thank you so much for being here. This is what makes what we do special. It's a different kind of experience to be among everybody who is on the same track. I'm on the same bandwagon as the other OC members and helpers. I will thank the heads of OCs. We were clueless in the beginning. I, for one, because I've never been to an NA, I was lost. Thank you, Oli, thank you, Maisa, and other OCs. It wouldn't have been possible without the helpers. I'm just very, please don't stop looking at me, because I will give the microphone to other people. Thank you.
Bye. Yeah, I also just wanted to say thank you to everybody. It was also my first NA, and thank you for Oli and Maisa for making this possible. And, well, obviously everybody else. I could only just repeat what everybody else said, but I love that you were so welcoming and friendly, and I felt very included, although I was also a bit clueless in the beginning. But yeah, for now, I think I'm pretty sure that I will go to another NA in the future, so thank you so much for this.
Okay, I prepared a text which is a bit long. I hope that's fine. First of all, I want to thank you all for being here, and I really hope you enjoyed your weekend and you enjoyed your time in Dortmund. My very first NA was in Hanover last autumn, and since then I was completely hooked in the national. I was at every NA since then, and standing here today hosting this NA feels like a full circle moment. It's been a whole year. I want to give a special thanks to Teresa, the former national president, who couldn't be here, but she was the first one who encouraged me and motivated me to host an NA. So, yeah, and also Oli, of course, who's always been there. And when I asked him if he wants to host an NA, he said yes without hesitation. And a fun fact, we wanted to host the summer NA at first, but then it got a bit overwhelming. And the second time I asked him, he said yes right away. And then we had our amazing OCs, and yeah, it all worked out. So yeah, we applied. And I couldn't be prouder of what we've achieved. Yeah, and this wouldn't happen without our amazing helpers. Yeah, I want a huge thank you to Hannah for always being present, ready to help, very easy to talk to. Thank you so much. Thank you for the National Board, of course, for the constant support, and the CT for the collaboration and yeah, the communication throughout the process. A huge thank you to Ahmed, who took incredible care of the accommodation and everything that came with it, and all the struggles and everything. A huge thank you to Dana and Angelina, of course, for their incredible work before and during the NA. They were going back and forth with their cars, doing everything. It was a hassle. You two were amazing. And also a huge, incredible thank you to Raha, our amazing, beautiful girl, who took care of all the amazing food you had to, like, you got through the NA. And also the little scarves. She needed all of them by hand from scratch. It took her days to do that, so thank you so much. She needed 43. I asked her to do that, and she did that. So thank you so much. Yeah, and also, of course, we wouldn't have achieved anything without our amazing helpers. Shout out to Elite, who baked the brownies the first day, and who also baked the things and cooked, and for Paulina, who was also in the kitchen, Cynthia. Oh, I'm so sorry. For Khan, Manoj, Pia, Oren, Yaren, Tarun, and Deep, they were all amazing help in the kitchen, in the coffee breaks, to pick up the people and lead them to the plenaries every morning. Yeah, this NA really wouldn't have this been the same without each of you. Thank you so much to all of you for making borussiNA Dortmund such an incredible experience for us, at least, and I hope also for you. Thank you so much. That's
yeah, I think I can.
Okay, NB, do you also want to talk? Yes, come to the front. Yeah, Jule National Board, I'm going to make it short. Thank you so much to the OC for hosting this. It was an amazing NA, especially as our first NA as the National Board. It was perfect. I couldn't have asked for more. Special thanks to Ahmad, Raisa, and Oliver. I love you guys. And thank you so much.
I can go. So I have a list because sometimes I'm scared that I forget someone. So first, a big thank you to the OC. It was so nice to see, especially on the first night where I saw you cleaned stuff, you were dancing, the energy, the vibe. It was amazing. To see you. I talked to some of you. He was like, "Yeah, we're like a machine, we are working really good." And this is so nice to see. You work as a team, you commit as a team, and it's so nice to have you as part of the network. So thank you so much. Second, the AB. So to you, Oliver, now. Thank you so much for taking over this role over the last 2 years. We know that it was not easy, and I'm pretty sure without you, without the AB, the network and how we sit here together would not be the same. So it would be much worse. Of course, the chairing team, to all three of you, especially for your adaptability, stepping in as a technical chair 1 week before the NA, say, yeah, I do it, I sign up for the vice chair, and it was clear to you that we can come up with our changes. The agenda on the first day when we put all our ideas inside was until 8 p.m. So it was crazy. To the RCs, thank you so much for holding the sections and the regions together, bringing up proposals, shaping the network. Thank you so much for this. Of course, oh my God, the national coordinators. From my side, I think without you, so many things will not be possible, and thank you so much for all your work you're doing on the national level and for the network. Of course, the alumni as well, for your knowledge, for your help. I don't know if they're still here, actually. Ah, nice. Okay, thank you so much. The NB, thank you so much as well for the time, for the first 3 months. It's a roller coaster, but it is a lot of fun. Like, actually, it's so much fun to work with them, bouncing ideas. Like the NB weekend, we had so many plans. Then we skipped the agenda, but still talking all the time about ESN. Like, this was crazy. We had like 5 minutes talking not about ESN. So thank you so much for this, you haters. And the biggest thank goes to all of you, to the sections, to the members who've been here, who participated. You asked questions, you reached out to us, you asked the national coordinators, you discussed with us really important things, set your changes, and this is what I would like to see the network. You engage with us, you engage with the ideas, you engage with all the things you think might be interesting and really beneficial for the network. Please continue, please be more active next time, also when Chiara will hate me for this, but please ask more questions. Please, please, please. But discussion is what we need to grow and also to find better ideas, better solutions. So stick with us, communicate, and thank you.
Okay, I will try to keep it short. First of all, of course, a big, big thank you to the OC. It was an absolutely amazing NA. We had so much fun. You all the time seemed so calm and so well organized. The food, shout out, was so good. I don't think I ever had this good food at any NA. So thank you for that. Big shout out to the chairing team. I will not add too much because Philip already said a lot, but thank you for stepping up. Thank you for doing your work so well. Thanks to all of you, to the participants, for asking the right questions, for staying engaged, for coming up to us with new ideas, for always being there most of the time on time and sticking with the agenda, even if it was sometimes exhausting and very long. I want to give a shout out to my amazing PR team. You did such an amazing job this weekend. You supported me so much. You did all the amazing pictures. We planned so much content, and I hope we can post so much in the next month. So check out our Instagram, please. And I also want to give a big thanks to my NCs, Ramona, and especially to Magnus. You took on such a good job. I know how much you're doing, and you're doing such an amazing job, and I hear from so many people all the time how happy they are with your work, and I'm so glad that we have you and that you support the network with your knowledge. So yeah, I'm going to stop because I'm going to start crying otherwise.
Yes, hi. I would also like, of course, to thank the OC for this amazing work you've done. I love the food. It was absolutely amazing. Also, the AB, every national coordinator, my fellow NB members, it's an absolute pleasure. We're currently working together on the national level. It's really fun, and I really like the positive vibes we're having. I would also like to give a special shout out to my lovely RC community, because I love how active you are and how actively you try to improve the network and and how active you support the sections, and like you're the bridge between local and national level, and I'm really thankful for you, as well as a special shout out to Sylvie, our training coordinator. She puts so much effort in these training events, also for the National Assembly trainings, workshops you had, that we don't repeat all the topics that we already have before. We're trying to make it interesting. We try to meet your needs. Also for that, shout out to Benji and Yule again for the section care calls. Like, it was really helpful that we could get more insight into that. And of course also Chiara, my HR manager, thank you so much for supporting me with like keeping the positive vibe up.
Okay. I'm going to start with the OC. And I'm going to come here so I can see you. Thank you so much for everything you did. Thank you for working with me. Thank you for your patience and for waiting for me to figure stuff out. Thank you for knowing more than me in so many points. This is literally the best OC that I could have ever wished for my first NA as event manager. You did such a great job. You were so low maintenance. They were so low maintenance that I sometimes felt bad because I thought I didn't help them enough. That's how good they were. You did everything on your own. You did such a good job. It was truly an amazing NA, and thank you for everything. Thank you to the audit board. I'm going to turn back. Thank you for thank you for tolerating all of my questions. I know that I can be a very, very nervous person, so thank you for sticking with me and for answering everything thrice because I need it sometimes. And thank you for always being there and answering so quickly. Thank you to all of the national coordinators for doing such a great job. Your mandate also only started a few months ago, and you're doing so well. You're getting to know the network if you don't know it already perfectly, and everything's going so great, and I'm very, very happy to have you all on board. Thank you to the regional coordinators for doing a great job, keeping the regions together. I don't want to forget anyone. Thank you to every one of you guys who's here. Thank you for asking questions. Please stay critical. Please let us know also outside of the NAs if you have any things you want to know, if there's any critique, if there's any feedback, always reach out to us. We're always very, very open for everything because we cannot do it on our own, and I have 15 seconds left. Thank you to the rest of the national board. It's truly been a pleasure working with you for the last 3 months. I think I've already grown a lot as a person in those 3 months. It's great. I love all of the jokes. I love the seriousness. I love that you let me rant. And that's it. Thank you.
Right on time. Wow. Efficient.
Small thing.
We have a small thank you to the OC because we wanted to for you to have something that would remind you of the NA that you hosted. So we have for you an East and Germany flag that we signed, and we hope that everyone else who participated, please feel free to come afterwards to the front and sign the flag as well if you want to. So yeah, you can keep this in your office.
Okay. I'm going to say a few words for all of all the CT. I will keep it very short. Thank you, OC. Thank you, NB. Thank you, AB. Thank you, regional coordinators. Thank you, national coordinators. Thank you to everyone who participated and who had a presentation and answered a Q&A. Thank you to all of you participants for being kind, we heard it before, being on time mostly, for asking questions, for engaging in this network, for helping us do the work that we do for all of you and with all of you. And I hope I'm not forgetting anyone. If I do, I'm sorry. Also, like we said before, if there's anything you want to still say or mention or request or whatever for the next NA, please always reach out to us. You can reach us via our email or on Slack. So anytime, just hit us up. Thank you. Also, we now have, let me check the time, around 20 minutes left. So everyone who wants to speak and cannot write or is that they want to share their words, you can come up front. You have 2 minutes to talk. Please try to keep it in the time. Otherwise, please use the opportunity to also write your appreciations, and it will be public, so everyone will see it and everyone can read through it and see if there's an appreciation for them. So everyone who wants to speak can come to the front. But remember, there are 2 minutes and keep it in the time.
Someone has to speak first, so go for it. Please.
Okay, thank you. Yep, okay. So, thank you for the space, given that I don't do written words. Yeah, to the OC, to repeat, but there's not enough thank yous. Everything was smoothly, so that's awesome. not only thank you, but congratulations for that, as well as for how approachable you were. I approached some of you multiple times, so thank you for that. The food was good, and I always complain about food. Nothing to complain this time, so extra points there. The social program went awesome, and as well as the communication, we were always communicated, so I guess that was good too. So thank you. The MB, all of you are awesome, and the first thing that I can thank for is the unity and all this calm approach that you have towards the issues, either before you or the ones that are happening in the upcoming ones. So keep up with that. And then on the personal, to Lena for being so approachable and so nice to all my things and inquiries. To Hannah, same as well, and to share crochet insights. And of course, Svenja, for giving me once more again the opportunity to take part of the PR team. That leads me to the lovely and wonderful PR team I work with. First of all, Clara and Ellis for helping me host my first workshop. And then thanks to those that attended, it was wonderful. Maybe not the workshop, but the fact that you attended and were there. So yeah, and of course Ryu and the rest of the PR team that make our Instagram so awesome. And to Joseph, because alongside me, we take care of the VIM, we're the VIM police, and so far we haven't taken anyone to VIM jail, so congratulations and thank you for that to all the sections as well. And then to my lovely Dusseldorf for making me continue here, especially to Ormilan from the Oldies and the Legend, and to Alessia, she is one of our newbies, and she just joined 2 weeks since she's a newbie. Can I say last word, please?
Yes. There you go. So first of all, a thank you to the AB and the CT for making an organized chaos possible and keeping us in check if we need to be kept in check. Then of course, so high thanks to the OC. This was amazing. It was so smooth. And like, I didn't even see most of you the whole time running around seeming stressed. So I also didn't feel stressed, so that's good. And also, of course, like a huge thank you to the NB, because I think this was the most wholesome, respectful, and like really enjoyable NA that I experienced so far. And that's mostly because of you, because your vibe and your calmness and your approachableness, is this a word? I don't know. You are approachable. You say you're approachable, but you also are. And we see that, and I think that makes like up for the whole experience that everyone has here. So yeah, huge thanks to you. And of course, also a huge thanks to all the participants, because I also think that all the discussions, even when we were discussing really complicated topics, yeah, also actually like that was amazing that you just stood here and let everyone talk and everyone ask questions. And yeah. But of course, also the questions have to come for that, and I think that was in a very respectful and calm way, and I really appreciate that because it can be different. Yeah, I think actually that's it. Yes.
Are there other speakers?
Hello, I'm Yahya, and that's my first NA, and I didn't imagine at all that it would be so fascinating to see each and everyone contributing with the most they can to contribute the most to their organization. I mean, I think there are many words that can describe this, but the word that I'm gonna stick to is, it was warm, it was kind of cozy. It felt safe, it felt wholesome. So huge thanks to everyone who contributed to this, to the OC, to the helpers, to the national board, to each and everyone that came and stepped a foot into this NA to shape this experience as this, to leave an impact even with just a very small chit chat after the whole day. And also, thank you for everyone who gave me that chance to share my humble music and art. I mean, this was very warm, was very wholesome actually. I just wanted to try a piano, and then I found that a very, very, very welcoming environment, a very encouraging environment, and I think this is gonna stick into my head for a bit of time. So yeah, thank you so much, and until Cologne, I would presume.
Is there someone else who wants to talk? Yeah. If you want to talk, you can come to the front already, and then we have like a line, and then can I also see how many people there are, and if we can make it in time, so on, so on.
Hello, everyone. Honestly, I'm a bit nervous because there's so many people now. And I want to thank everyone. Of course, I want to thank the lovely OC, the national board, the national level, everyone in this room, the audit board, the chairing team. That has all been mentioned. It's wonderful. But I also really, really like that during this NA, there were so many newbies present, especially during the regional time. I think half the people were at their first NA, and I couldn't really feel it. They didn't feel like they felt really like active. It was wonderful. And I also really want to thank everyone because personally I tend to find NAs a bit overwhelming sometimes, so I find it hard to attend the parties and everything. But I really loved that I did not feel pressured once by anyone here to go party or join everything, just join what I could. And so thank you so much, everyone. Who wants to speak next?
Hello again. I'm not going to repeat what was already said about thank you to the OC, AB, and B, all the other abbreviations. Last NA, I thought maybe this was the last one that I attend because it's always very overwhelming for me. This NA was a lot of new things and a lot of firsts. My first workshop, my first presentation, my first contribution to the national level updates. And yeah, I want to thank all of you for creating this environment where that was easy to do and easy to do together with you. I want to thank the National Board and especially Jule, because it's so much fun and so great to work together, and I hope that we can continue that. I also want to thank everyone that's in the section care team that is here right now. Hello. It was a little bit overwhelming for me, so I didn't really have time to talk to you much, but I hope that we can do a lot and that we can do a lot of things for you. As we saw on the first day, there are a lot of people here for whom this was the first NA as well, and a lot of firsts. And I really hope that you take a lot of things home to your section and that you also ask questions and that you ask for support because it's there. So please take it. ES in Germany also only exists because of you. So please reach out and let's work together.
Are there more speakers? Okay. Then I will pass the microphone back to Maisa because she forgot to say something in the beginning.
Yes, I mentioned all the OC members. I mentioned Ollie at the beginning, but then I forgot my thank you for Ollie. I want to thank my amazing co-head of OC for being an incredible support throughout the process and also during my mandate as president of ES in Dortmund. He was always my advisor. He was always there to hear me out, venting, to calm me down when I'm spiraling. Yeah, thank you so much for emotionally supporting me all the time. Yeah, I couldn't have done this without you. Also, thank you to the NB, because I thank you for the support, but also thank you for the hard work you put into this network. Yeah, we really appreciate you and we love you. That's it. Thank you.
So yeah, now I found some words. So thank you to like the whole OC, especially like Mahisa, who it was like a real pleasure to work with you, and you like always like there did all the room allocations, talk with everybody. It's just like so wonderful, but also the rest of us, such wonderful peoples, and as also the helpers. Beforehand, I was a bit skeptical if you could find enough people, but you all stepped up, and it's so wonderful to see like the whole section here. So thank you so much. And since this is also my last NA as main auditor, I want to thank all the people I worked with, like on a national level, and also in all the working groups, in all the discussions. It was always such a pleasure with you as a network to work with, and that also kept me like motivated all these years, and also keeps me motivated to now try to go to the next step as main arbitrator for Eastern International. So thank you so much for all of that. And especially, of course, thank you to my lovely audit board. You are so wonderful people. I really, really will miss the weekly calls with you. It's always a pleasure. So thank you, everybody.
Okay, thank you very much for all of your appreciations. And I would like to ask everyone to read through the appreciations in the GA app again, especially everyone that participated and added agenda points to the NA and so on. Please read through it. It will be open, and it will remain open for a few days. On to the last agenda point, the official closing of DNA.
Yes. With this, I'm closing officially the NA in Dortmund